Welcome back. Well, for the markets holding up steady, so we have the Nifty, which is up around 92 odd points. The Bank Nifty, like we mentioned, is just about consolidating at this point. Let's talk about the consumer discretionary space. We have Gaurav Jogani, who's the director at GM Financial Institutional Securities, who looks at that space, joining in to discuss his views. Gaurav, hi. Thank you very much for joining in. Well, we're coming out fresh from the Q2 numbers. So just wanted to get your sense in terms of the reading of the entire FMCG basket. Was it in line, above or below your expectations in terms of earnings? And what are you extrapolating for the second half?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I think if you compare the staple sector versus the consumer discretionary sector, staples kind of has grown in the high single digits kind of a number. But if you look at the consumer discretionary space, that continues to grow well at around 17-18%. But if you see the growth is largely skewed towards the jewelry segment and to some bit to the value fashion segment. Now, mind you, this quarter, we also have an early Durga Puja that has kind of helped most of the value fashion retailers. On the flip side, if we look at the mid-premium apparel players or the footwear players, they kind of struggled. Also, there was a part impact of a GST transaction that was happening, and some of the consumers waited till the rate cuts actually happened, and hence you saw some of that impact. But largely, the growth, I would say, was muted to a larger part and started to pick up towards the end of the festive season.
So all said and done, Gaurav, what do you think are best placed over the next couple of quarters in terms of recovery post GST, the trends that continue from the second quarter, and the valuations where you do see some more upside, at least from an earnings point, if not a multiple re-rating standpoint?
Sure. So I think the jewelry sector, we expect to continue to do well. If you also hear commentaries from most of the jewelry retailers, the Diwali season has gone really well for them, and that continues to do well till now. We also expect a resurgence in the performance for some of the footwear players, especially on the casual front. Some players like Metro or maybe even Campus to that extent. Value fashion, I think, can have a bit of muted quarter given that the festive has already gone by for them. On the other hand, I think QSR, I would say, still not out of the woods. That is one segment, that has continued to reel under pressure for some more time. So I would say our best bets in this space would be more towards the jewelry players, the casual footwear players, and also the grocery players that we like here.
And in jewelry, would you back the leader or would you back the second, third players which are trading at a discount to the leader?
We will bet the number one and the number two player here. Clearly, the leader is continuing to do well, and most of the concerns now are behind them. I think there was a lot of hue and cry in terms of the huge base that they had, and they still continue to grow well there. And I think the number two player is trading at a very steep discount to the leader. So we will back both of them.
Okay. Gaurav, what's your view coming in on the alcobev space as well? We just had a flash at the bottom of the screens for Tilak Nagar Industries making that big entry into premium whiskey. What are you liking over there? Any view here?
Sorry, alcobev is something that I don't track, so won't be able to.
Okay, and then your thoughts on maybe something like a Trent or on that front, on the retail side. How do you see retailers shaping up?
Yeah, so retailers, I think, should do well in Q3. I think what has happened over the past couple of quarters is that we had seen demand pick up, especially on the rural side. Rural has really started to pick up. On the other hand, the recent, the rationalization in terms of the income tax rates, the GST rationalization, all are coming together to shape up the demand for the value fashion or the overall fashion space. We believe, that it is too early to call it as a secular trend, but early signs are showing up. Trent has seen some deceleration, but I think I'll not be overtly worried about the long-term story there. The picture there is intact. Given, they have a very huge base, some kind of deceleration was already expected there.
Gaurav, I know you can't talk specific stocks, but what is your reading about the paint sector, considering the recovery that we saw in Asian paints this quarter?
See, I think clearly the paint sector, if you see, the leaders might has now showing up. They did had some problems in the past couple of years in terms of the inventory, etc. that they had, plus the new players taking away some share. But now with Q2 going out, which also was impacted partly by the monsoon season that we saw, going ahead, things should be improving at the margin from them from here on.
Right, so you are betting on the incumbents. Just a final question before we let you go, Gaurav. In the FMCG space, a large part of value is created when there is a leadership change that happens as well. And we've seen that a lot in this year, be it HUL, Britannia is likely to get a new leader post Varun Berry. Then you have, Nestle, who has Manish Tiwari. So across the board, there are a lot of leaders, new leaders that have come into the FMCG space. Any particular stock where you see a fair amount of value because of this leadership change coming in?
I think HUL would be the one, there is some expectation with the leadership change that they should get a new boost, especially, Priya being already part of the HUL in the past. And she's done very well with the laundry space that she handled last time around. So I think that is one area I think you could see a meaningful value creation over the times to come.
Okay. You see meaningful value creation coming in from HUL, obviously, with these leadership changes that have come in. You said you don't like the QSR space, right? You are not too positive on this one. But then would you look at the new age side of the names, maybe an Eternal? Is that something on your radar as well? Eternal, Swiggy, any of these names?
Yeah, I think my colleague Swapnil, he does cover that space. But clearly, both Eternal and Swiggy are doing well in the food delivery space. But even there, if you see the growth rates for the food delivery segment, that has kind of decelerated from an earlier 30 to 40% levels to the 17-18% levels. Our reading of the overall food services or the eating out industry is that the eating out market itself has not grown over the past 1.5 years. And that has a lot to do with the overall consumer sentiment being benign, and especially consumers gravitating towards the value end of the segment. Now, on the one hand, we see the value offerings continue to increase. However, the transaction size have not increased in the same pace. Hence, overall revenue growth has kind of remained tepid.
Out of curiosity, will Lenskart come under your coverage if at all you all decide to cover, or will it be your colleague?
Yes, it will be me, yeah.
It will be you. So, I mean, just offhand, 70,000 crore market cap, how do you like the opportunity here?
See, definitely it's a very good story. I mean, the kind of infrastructure that they have created will be very difficult to replicate. I was lucky enough to, have a tour of their entire factory that they had made. And I have in past done visits for multiple factories of other FMCG or other players. But it's really something unique that they have created, because of which they are able to dish out very quality products at very value prices. See, valuation again is a perception, but if you look at the longer term story, we really like it. At the current market price, I would not really like to comment anything there, since it's not under active coverage as yet. But I like the overall story, I would say.
All right, Gaurav, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that is the view coming in on the consumer discretionary space, FMCG space from JM Financial. We'll take a short break. But up next, we'll get you those highlights from that exclusive conversation with Starbucks CEO. Stay tuned.